Hi folks, so it's about 20 after 3. It is 9/18 Friday, 66.9 there, 66 there. Look at this, my batteries are all charged up. And for my friends overseas, is that 18.6? Give or take a foot and a half. So welcome to Friday. I'm coming off of I guess they call it my long week. And on my long week, I work 2 12-hour days and a 4. But tonight I took off, so I just did the 2 12-hour days. I had a bit of a surprise. It appears as if I might be having to retire sooner than I thought, because my company kind of uses a last 5-year average when it comes to what your pension is. Well, my last year and a half of my 5-year average, I'm on this part-time schedule, so I got to make sure that my pension does not go backwards. We have something called a pension estimator program, and when I run that program, it doesn't show my pension going backwards. As a matter of fact, it shows a minor amount of growth. My pension's frozen, but it grows in a minor amount from a mortality point of view. Obviously, if you wait a couple of years before you collect it, or you wait years before you collect it, they give you a little more pension money, because in those years there's a possibility that you croak and they don't have to give you any pension money. So the whole pension gig. So anyway, I have to look into that. I spoke to my boss on it, and he said, no, you're not going to lose any money. Don't worry about it. But, last time one of us, was surprised by a corporation that didn't tell the truth, or by management who didn't necessarily completely understand what was going on. That's a rare event that kind of stuff should surprise you. Anyway, this is my wake-up video. What am I up to? First of all, eBay. There are certain things I do or buy whenever they come up reasonable. This was a buy it now recoil starter. So Stoney's probably looking at it going, USOB, I should have bought it. It was less than $50. It's a Honda with a Briggs & Stratton handle. It's got some miles on it. You could see some wear there. There's a kit that you could buy to rebuild it. You get the outer plate, you get the dogs, and you get the butterfly springs inside. When it comes to these recoils, the things that are kind of hard to find are these friction washers here. The copper one, the spring, and the C-clip. So anyway, so this was less than $50. It came with the basket, which is also well worn. Yeah, about this basket, I mean, these could be ground, and the holes would be a little bigger, so to speak, but that really doesn't hurt anything. So that could still be used. And they also threw in the fan. I never really understood why there was a fan on the inside of a sealed flywheel, but whatever. This is interesting. This one does not have the hole here for the compression release. So anyway, less than $50, and if you pull it, the dogs come right out. Right, you can see the dogs come out. So that's what's necessary. Right, see the dogs come out and grab it. So once again, if you find these delivered to your house for under $50 and you want to play in the game of these things until you get a few spares on the shelf. And my problem is I've been kind of consuming a few of my spares. I forgot which bike came home recently. Oh, this one. And I had to take one of the spares off the shelf for it. So I always like keeping a good starter on the shelf. I always like keeping a good carburetor on the shelf. Things like that you always use. You will always, if you like to play with 200Ss, you should pick up a few of those Chinese carburetors and put them on the shelf for when you got an unknown bike and you want to get it fired up. So you should have one of those on the shelf. You should always have a little gas tank on the shelf so that you could get gas to your little cheap Chinese carburetor. Recoil starter, and then for these 200Ss, you got half your battle there. Then all you need is a motor that's not blown and some spark, and you're all good. Also with eBay, I ordered the right axle for this thing. You know, I really kind of wanted to put something different in it, because the right one is not renowned for being the most dependable axle in the world. So, but you know, to cut the shaft down, to cut the pulley shaft down, and then to play all the other games to get it to go in there would have been just way too much. And particularly, you know, I'm trying to set it up so that it's right. I would like a decent tractor. So I decided to go through the trouble of ordering the right rear end for it. So that's the second thing. Hopefully I get it soon. And lastly, I wonder why there's super glue sitting here. Strange that just, I'm going to have to ask my son. This is his latest acquisition. I'm going to have to speak to him about it because I don't care for it leaking gas on the driveway. I have a well here, and putting gasoline into the well is not a good thing. So he and I are going to have a little discussion. Oh, and the last thing is, I guess I'm up to like February. The next bike is Miss February. I really should officially bring I think the three-wheeler came first. So the three-wheeler should be Miss December, and then this one is really Miss January. And then I found, it's all the way up in Springfield, Massachusetts. Cheap. It's an ATC 200. So I got to run up there. Springfield is like 2.5 hours from here, give or take a foot and a half. So I got to do a quick pre-flight on the Ranger there. She's the one that's going to make that trip, and go, you know, get ready to do that run. I got all the tires out of the ditch without getting stung by those bees, which was a good accomplishment, right? Homie don't like getting stung by bees. Well, I was also fooling around. I had to start this thing up and drive it about. The plow is working on that again, so it appears as if whatever it's, the battery not being any good, that issue seems to be resolved. What I want to do is also get the backhoe back here and clean up this mess, get the branches cleaned up, get this leveled out, make it so that should there be grass here or whatever, that I can actually drive the tractor back here. And wouldn't be a bad place also to park a trailer, a couple of the trailers that are hanging out in the backyard. My wife is beginning to rattle my cage a little bit, so rather than put up with a whole bunch of trouble from her, right, I could put a trailer alongside here, and I could put one behind these. You know, I just have to clean up this mess. And if I do that, that'll just, that'll get her a little happier. and I'll get some stuff out of the way. Tires, you always run into stuff with tires. I've been meaning to get rid of these, and you can see some of these have aluminum wheels, right? So I've been meaning to get rid of these, but then they just help me get the backhoe out of the hole. So before I really get rid of those, what I should do is get some decent cribbing material, right? Buy some 6x6s or 8x8s and cut them into cribbing material to do this kind of stuff. But by the time I buy the cribbing material, cut it up, and have it lie about, and I may or may not use it, I might as well keep the wheels and use those. Probably what I'll do is I'll get the trailer back here. I'll load those on. They'll end up out in the barn with the Ranger pickup truck. If at any time, I don't own that barn, right? It's kind of landlocked, but at any time, the plastic surgeon who does own that barn could really show up and say, "Yo, clown, get your crap out of here," or "Yo, clown, the crap you have in here is now mine because you left it here. You abandoned it." So I really don't want to put anything in there that has any real value, right? I just want to keep in there stuff that could theoretically disappear, but given the fact that it's around, I have access to it, and I have the ability to use it should I need it. The fact that it'll stay dry, what do you say? This is Fina. She showed up as a stray, and we fixed her up and all. So we kind of, try to keep her out of the elements and keep her in one piece. But she is a small, very thin cat. If you were petting her as I am now, you'd see. And if you look at her face, come here, Fina, look at me. Her lip is messed up. I don't know if you guys could see it there. She had cancer, and we took her to the vet, and the vet said she didn't have much time left. So we said, okay, well, take care of her for whatever time she has left, right? She's a fellow traveler on this earth. And it decided that she liked being with us so much, she gave up the cancer and decided to live. So, that's kind of amazing. I don't know how old she is. Vets always say that when a cat shows up at your house, it's like 3 years old. So, I don't know. She's been around for like another 2 or 3 years. So, she's somewhere between, I don't know, probably 5 and 10. It's hard to narrow it down any closer than that. Alright, so I'm awake. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to poke around with. When I'm working on things, I notice helpful and I notice less than helpful. This bench, this rolling bench, I actually built this to be a kind of a shop table, but I got all this crap on it. An empty can for diesel fuel, can with gas in it, carburetor, battery charger, a bunch of tools. But I also have this stuff, big red stuff. What I need to do is get it to the point, fire extinguisher, right? They always come in handy. I need to get this this cleared off, or at least set up so perhaps there's one box on this side and the rest of it is cleared off, because I did find it to be handy for working. It's a touch high for a bench, but for those of you who perhaps are in your 50s or 60s or perhaps even late 40s, who realize that you can't see stuff anymore, this isn't a bad height for a bench, so that when you have something on the bench and you need to see it, you can kind of like bend over and look at it with your glasses off or whatever. So it's a decent height for being able to work on things and so forth. So this is another. I gotta get this horde off this bench and get it cleaned up. All right, so I've been babbling pretty near 15 minutes. I'm going to let you guys go. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. I love the comments. I read all the comments. And probably what you guys notice is I'll respond to a batch of them when I get a chance. And then, I get busy and I don't have a chance for a while. Then I'll respond to another batch. Sorry about that. I do try to keep up and catch up and all, but there are just times when I can't. I got too much going on, and once again, I really do apologize. I do appreciate the comments. I do read them, and I do enjoy them. Some of you guys really crack me up. One of the guys was commenting that every time I walk through here, he has to laugh. Yeah, this is my little dimensional check. If I can't fit through here anymore, that means I got to really start thinking about how much I weigh. So there's you guys also help a lot. Some of the input on the rear end here and what I should do with it, and even one of the guys made the comment, either fix it or junk it. Don't keep it around and wait for parts. And I guess to some extent that comment is a very good comment, because as you keep it around, next thing you know, you lose a piece and you lose another piece and you borrow a front tire, and next thing it's like everything else here, it's just kind of in disrepair. So that kind of prompted me to start looking a little harder for a rear end, and I think I found one. As a matter of fact, I might have found two. So that's typically the way it works. You need one, you can't get any, then you say, oh well, maybe I'll scrap it, and you find two, and then you don't get any. Alright guys, anyway, once again, thank you for watching, commenting, and subscribing. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. Till then, keep your tires down, keep your head up, and enjoy today and tomorrow and all the other days you have in front of you. Bye now.